Full disclosure moment before this video gets going. I was using this mic, the newer-ish DJI. It's basically the mini, but not the newest one. It was a little hot. I thought I had clipping control on, but with this one, it doesn't offer that. This one, however, has clipping control. So when I talk louder, it doesn't clip out and it doesn't sound like a big piece of shit because I wasn't sitting there looking, you know, whatever. So back to the video. I can't believe I never made a video about this since it came out. I was looking at my channel and I was like, dude, I never made a video on the Nano. Now I know what you're thinking. Dude, the Nano came out like 8 months ago, 9 months ago. I don't know, I got it back in like October. Yeah, like almost a year ago. And I got this little camera. I don't know if you just saw what I did, but the back of this camera has a magnet on it, which I gotta tell you, comes in clutch because I can just put it on literally any metal surface that I have. And right now you're hearing me through the DJI Mic 2. It's not the newest mic mini, but it's like the last version of it where it's got like the clear, I think they called it the DJI Mic 3, maybe? I don't know, dude. There's so many names for these mics, you can't really keep track of it. So the question of the day is why now? Why do I feel compelled to make a video on the Osmo Nano? And the answer is, it's the camera that I always have with me. And I know that that doesn't make sense because you haven't seen on this channel, you haven't seen any videos with me using this camera. There might have been a couple shots and a couple videos, but I don't think so. Long story short, I use this camera mainly to shoot my everyday TikTok videos that I shoot every day for the past 550 something days I post on TikTok.
What can I get for you?
Can I have a medium black iced coffee?
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Thanks. So I use this for TikTok every day, for the most part. And the reason I use it is because it's the camera that gives me the least amount of grief. I don't need much with it besides the camera itself, its little vision dock that it's got, a microphone, and this little, the lanyard that I'm wearing right now came with the kit that I got with the Osmo Nano, and it's my favorite accessory because you can magnetize microphones to it, you can attach the camera to it through your shirt so you can have like cool POV shots. You know, when you have something like this, you can just strap it on the inside of your shirt and then your camera's just like floating on you. It looks pretty inconspicuous. Some quick features about this thing, like I'm not gonna get into the weeds on features and specs. I just want to show you what you can get with this camera because I feel it is a great tool to have for someone who makes YouTube videos, home movies, whatever. I mean, I don't see this being a, you know, filmmaker's tool unless you're getting like behind the scenes stuff. It shoots 4K, obviously. It records in a cool 4:3 aspect ratio, so you can punch in for vertical or horizontal 16:9, and you use essentially the whole sensor, kind of like how you would use OpenGate on like a more expensive cinematic camera, higher end mirrorless, whatever. But it's not exactly OpenGate, but it records in a similar ratio.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you? Thank you. Another thing that this little creator kit comes with is a suction cup and a swivel mounting thing for the base of the vision dock / the camera. Is that a tree that fell down? No way. Another quick full disclosure moment. The lens I'm using on this is a black mist filter. I believe it's a 1/4 strength K&F Concepts. I use black mist filters on all of my action cameras. I like the way it looks. It gives you a nice bloom in the background, kind of simulating to me a little bit of like bokeh, you know, a little bit of creative, you know, a little more artsy. I just like the way it looks. It softens the image a little bit so it's not as super crisp, and I think it looks nice. So they're cheap. It's like 30 bucks. So I mean, if you're gonna get this camera, you may as well get one of those because, you know, you want your stuff to stand out a little bit. So, you know, you could be in like a public space and be recording and not stick out like a sore thumb, dude. Even though I still don't like being in stores and recording. These shelves look cool. One side note, if you're recording with microphone attached and you take the camera off the vision dock, it disconnects because it uses the same frequency to transmit. So, just so you know.
$50 on a decent bread knife, but all it's good for is cutting bread. Our knife is way more than just a bread knife. You get a carving knife, you get a slicer, but you also have a serving fork on the tip.
I'll be a free paring knife, dude. So as I was saying before, my favorite thing about the Nano is just how small it is, leading it to be put into very interesting places. I don't know if you can see it so good, but it's probably the size of my thumb. You know, maybe a little bigger, but it's, you know, it's essentially the size of a thumb. So I can take it and I can look like, oh, hey, what's this? Can I put it underneath this little handle here? And yeah, I can. You know, so then you get a different perspective of where you're at. You know, I look around and I'm thinking, huh, where else can I put this? Oh, look, my little flappy thing. Can I put it here? Oh. And yeah, I can. So you can get like a different perspective while you're driving, you know? And I know that I mentioned that it's magnetic. So if the side of your car is magnetic or anything else around you is magnetic, you know? Now it's on my door. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. And see, like that. I just had it on my door and shut the door and it didn't fall. Now, I'm gonna go ahead right now and tell you, maybe don't put it on the side of your car while you're driving down the street. I'm just illustrating that you can put it on metal surfaces. Like there's a pole over there. Where else? Let me find another pole. And now you got yourself a 6 foot tall or as high as you can reach tripod to show off. Like, dude, look where I'm at. Cool, huh? Right? I think that's pretty cool if you ask me. And just so you can see how I'm mounting it inside my car, I have this off-roam clip that goes into the vent, paired with this articulating arm by, I believe, K&F or somebody. I can't remember. It's just like the arm part. And then this is the thing that came with the Osmo Nano. It's the articulating ball head. And then this thing just clips right on there and boom, we're ready to drive. And since it's on the swivel, you can just be like, boom, swivel it to the front. And now we got a front facing dash cam. So needless to say, versatility is in the Osmo Nano's favor. But with all these positives, there are a few drawbacks to this camera. One being the battery life is not the longest, which is unfortunate because, you know, I like to use this so much that I just want to keep using it, but the battery doesn't last that long. I feel like if you're recording 4K 30, I'm doing 4K 24, it'll record just on the camera itself for probably about an hour, which is as much storage I have on this thing because I bought the 64 gigabyte version stupidly because it was brand new and I couldn't get the 128, so I'd recommend getting the 128. With that being said, it kind of sucks because you can put an SD card inside this is the vision dock, inside the vision dock, but it doesn't record from the camera to the SD card. You have to stop recording, go into the menu and transfer the files from the camera to the memory card, which kind of takes a while. So I would do a couple batch recordings, like don't shoot all day and then take it home to transfer it all because it takes a long time. So just keep that in mind when you're shooting with the Osmo Nano. Maybe later on, if they do like another version of this, they'll have straight to the SD card recording, but until then, this is what we got. The easiest and quickest solution though to the battery problem that I've come across is when you're driving, you know, just plug in the the Vision dock, just let it charge, because this charges the camera, and when this is fully charged, it'll charge the camera back up. So while this is just draining itself, you could be charging this. You can plug them both in, charge them at the same time. If you have one of those portable power banks, just carry that in your bag, and in between shooting, just plug it in, get it some more juice. It charges fairly quickly, especially if you have like a faster charging, you know, because it does support fast charging, so it'll charge up in like no time. So you're back out and shooting within like a half hour. You can get a good amount of power. So, you know, there's negatives, but at the same time, there's solves for it. I film my videos chronologically. Like, I don't like to go back and forth and jump in and out. But speaking back on the accessories, it also came with the hat clip, which I used while I was in Puerto Rico a couple weeks ago. I put it on my hat while we were on a jet ski in the ocean, which was pretty awesome. So here's what that looked like. I think after my super expensive mirrorless camera, I have the R6 Mark III. Love that camera, fantastic. Didn't really make a video on that yet. I did a video on, you know, me shooting and C-Log 2 or whatever, because it's new to the RF lineup essentially. That's not cinema. So yeah, I haven't done that either. I've been slacking, dude. All right. Full disclosure, it's been a rough winter, and by the end of it, I just didn't feel like doing anything besides my TikTok videos. So, you know, we're back though. It's summertime, it's warm. I got some stuff coming in the mail that I think a lot of people are going to be excited about. It's just one thing right now. It's not a lot of things. It's just one thing. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. I just love this camera. It's a lot of fun. Records D-Log M, which it also records, or it's 10-bit D-Log M. It records in normal color 10-bit, so you don't really have to use D-Log M if you're not really into color grading your footage. I just call it like color correcting and, like, you know, getting your exposure exactly where you wanted it for the shot, because the camera is not really gonna know what you want unless you dial in the settings. But with stuff like this, I like to turn it on and go and then fix it later, because it does a pretty good job, but sometimes I want it to be exposed in different areas. And again, I'm not compensating for the 180-degree rule, because then I need to put ND filters on, and I don't really have time for that because I got the black mist on there, which I think looks better anyway. There's a whole bunch of different things you have to worry about when you're making videos, and it gets to be confusing. It's a lot. It's a lot. It can be debilitating. It can force you to... I'm actually a little shocked right now. I've had this camera for 9 months. And of course, the day that I go to make the video on it, it overheats. It overheated, and I lost my train of thought, and I don't know where I left off, besides the fact that I still like this camera. Besides its quirks, besides the things that, you know, you have to compensate for. Unfortunately, that's with like all cameras. I think it's still a great little camera. I think, not that you need this, but I think you would appreciate having this in your bag at all times, in your pocket. You know? You could keep it inside you. I don't recommend it, but you can. But don't. Don't do that, because that wouldn't be great. Okay, so I like this camera a whole lot. It's one of my favorites. It's got so many different accessories, and one that I didn't even talk about at all before, which was SmallRig makes this nano hot or cold shoe adapter for it. So you can put this on your camera, and then when you're out getting some shots, you can capture that, because, you know, some people do that, and it's a thing. long story short, there's so many. Oh yeah, this is the suction mount for it. I forgot to mention this, but it works good. You know, I wouldn't put it on my car and go anywhere with it like that. It's like inside your car, sure, but like outside the car, don't do that. Use like a better one. They make pretty cheap ones. But yeah, it's just, there's so many things that you can use this thing for. It's my favorite, and I felt like it was necessary to finally make a video on it because it's great. So I'm gonna end it here. It's a pretty long video, so if you're still here, thank you. And I'll probably add in some extra clips of me using this camera in different situations, different places that I've used it over the past 9 months without making a video on it. So stay safe, keep shooting, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.